Good afternoon, everyone. This is Veronica Blatt with NPA Worldwide. I'm here with Dave Nurs today, and Nicole Clarke from Shazamme is our presenter. We are going to get going in about a minute, so we'll be here while people are joining the conference, and then we'll start just in about 60 seconds.
While we're waiting, I'll give you those who are joining. There aren't a lot yet, but as you're joining, give you a quick update on our technology initiative that's underway. And we're making good progress. Chris Paul is spending a lot of time. We have quite a few of you as members. Maybe some of the people on this call are testers in the beta site with us and giving us good feedback on things that need to be changed, but we're making really good progress. And I'm hoping in the next 30, 45 days that we'll have our site out there for you to work with. So we're not in a huge hurry because Matchmaker works fine. We want to make sure this site is got most of the really significant bugs worked through before we bring it out to you. So we're doing quite well with it. It's consuming a lot of our time, but it is a thing of ease and beauty compared to other things that I've been involved in the past. So really looking forward to it.
Just a couple of housekeeping announcements to get us going here. We are recording this. We will provide a copy of the recording to everyone who is registered. That'll be coming in the next couple of days. Members, we have a lot of meetings coming up. It's great to be back to talking about meetings. Some are live and some are virtual. For our annual meeting, that's the annual owners meeting, that will be a virtual event that is happening on March 3rd at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Registration is open. This is where we really need our owners to participate and vote and handle the governance of the network that you own. So please, please, please make every effort to be in that session live. If you are not able to be there live, then you can send in your proxy so that your vote can still be counted, but it's an either or. You either come live or you do your proxy, but not both. We are still doing registrations for our global conference in Fort Worth, April 7, 8, 9. Would love to see more faces there. We know that it's challenging for people to travel in a lot of places and in a lot of areas, but we're excited to be back and having this opportunity to get together in person. And then following that in June is Connection Barcelona. So members in Europe particularly, that's maybe an easier trip than some of the other things that we've had available. For other members who've been not able to travel, maybe this is a good way to get back into some international travel with a really nice bunch of members and guests. This is a joint event with some MRI affiliates scattered throughout Europe. So it's a nice event. And with that, I think we are ready to get started. So I'm going to introduce to you all Nicole Clarke from Shazamme. Some of you will remember Nicole from her previous company, JXT, in Sydney, Australia. So they've been a long-time supporter and partner of NPA. And Nicole's going to talk about building an online recruitment brand and her new venture, Shazamme. Nicole?
Thank you so much. Thanks, Veronica. Thanks, Dave, and hello to everyone I have met, and hi to those I haven't. Always here to have a chat if ever you've got any questions regarding building a successful recruitment brand online. So I'm just going to share my screen. Making sure you can see my screen there. Veronica, all good?
Yes, looks great.
Fantastic. Okay, so today we are going to take you through a bit of a journey on building a successful recruitment brand online. Now, there is a lot to this, so please don't get daunted. It is easy if you work through it methodically. One of the bits that we will really be focusing on, because it is the solid foundation of your brand online, and it should be the thing that you really start with perfecting before you do anything else in the World Wide Web, is your recruitment website. So much opportunity now to use it as your marketing strategy, and we'll talk through that as we venture through. So thanks for joining me. Feel free to ask any questions. Okay, so today's agenda, we're going to go through how SEO works and how it can work for your recruitment brand, some key facts around what's going on in the industry and online. We'll run through some of the tools that you can be using if you're not using already that are worth implementing in your business, and they're free to use. A lot of those are through Google tools. The recipe and lots of tips on how you can make your recruitment and staffing website really stand out and be found online. And that is a constant ongoing thing that you can do, but there's some really good ways to make it happen quite quickly, and then explore lots of different channels. So making it big online. So how do you actually be found in this sea of lots and lots of people that are out there in your industry and have big dollars that they're spending on particular things? So we'll be looking at, search engine optimization, Google, what's Google looking for when it decides who it's going to present for a search that's just gone online. And we'll talk through and show you and explore some real life situations that companies have been able to really move forwards quite quickly with being found online. So when we look at top of funnel, what do you need to be thinking about? So really at a foundational level, it's the site architecture and the content that exist within your recruitment website. And we'll talk a little bit about the site architecture and the things you should have on your recruitment website if you don't have them already. Content and the site architecture is really going to drive a lot of that SEO. Your job board. So regardless of whether you've got 2 jobs or 2,000 jobs that you're recruiting for currently or could recruit for, we recommend that you do have those on your website. Ideally, they should be very well SEO optimized, and I'll explain a little bit more about what that means soon. But the great thing with SEO optimization at a job ad level is it's almost like, or it should be, every time you post a job, it's almost like increasing your SEO optimization, like you're writing a blog or a news story, because it's fresh content. And if it's properly SEO optimized, so search can actually read those jobs, it's going to help you. Your metadata, so making sure that all your metadata, meta titles, all the technical things are being taken care of. You shouldn't have to think about that. It should happen automatically. And I will show you what that means shortly with a live example. No errors. So often what you'll find, we've got some really good tools now where you can do a quick audit on your website and your brand online, and it will tell you if there's any errors or inconsistencies with images, or where they might be too large. Alternatively, that H1 are titles that sit within your website. If there's duplicates of those, it can affect your SEO. So you can really just run an audit quite quickly, and I'm happy to do that for anyone as well. If you'd like that run, please just let me know. And then your core web vitals, understanding exactly what's going on with your brand. So where do you start? So one of the things that we will definitely say out of the bat is be very cautious of handing your brand over to a traditional marketing agency. Use an expert in recruitment marketing, because they just don't understand the opportunities that you have as a business. We have 2 distinct silos, sometimes 3. You've got job seekers that are looking for jobs that you want finding your brand. You've got employers who are looking for a recruiter that can help with their brand that you want to be found for. And you also potentially want to recruit internally. So there's a bit more complexity to it than just building a website. The other thing is the integrations. They're so important. Integrations with your database, your applicant tracking system, so that it's seamless, and that the search engine optimization benefits are all there as well. And we can make it as easy as possible for a candidate or a client to have the perfect experience when they find your brand in the World Wide Web. Things to do, you fix your foundation, which is the website should be your digital brand online. Can't tell you how many times people have said, oh, no one uses our website. We only need LinkedIn. Just as a reminder, you don't own LinkedIn as much as it's a great tool. Your brand is the one that you really need to invest in, because that is you, and you want to get people coming to that don't necessarily know you either. So very important to, as written there, get your SEO happening, make sure you've got content on the site that attracts people that you're looking for. And importantly, measure everything. Don't fly blindly. Like, where are your leads coming from? Where are your applications coming from? Then you can spend money on those areas rather than sort of this, let's try everything and see what works sort of scenario. So measuring is extremely important. Data-driven decisions now are something you should be looking at doing. So everyone that sort of goes, well, why are we always talking about Google? Well, Google is the juggernaut. It is SEO 101. If you can show up on Google, chances are you can start showing up on the others, because they all follow similar recipes, really. So it is the lead. So even if you look the stat down there, 30% of searches on Google are job related. So you can really see how important it is that you start thinking about search engine optimization and maximizing the opportunities with your brand online. We'll talk a bit more about that and delve into some of the things you can be doing. So first one, site architecture. So very important. Rick, who's not with us at the moment, he's doing other things, but one of his analogies was always, if you're trying to sell toasters, but you have nothing on your website that talks about toasters, you're never going to sell a toaster unless it's by accident. The exact same thing is true. If you're in construction recruitment, but you don't have anything on your website, a landing page that talks about construction jobs and a page that talks about construction recruitment and why you're the experts in that, you're missing huge opportunities. So those little worlds should be built out. So when someone finds you online because they're looking for a construction job, they hit the link, they land on that page on your website, you look like an expert in that space. On that page should be great content. There should be potentially the recruiter that specializes in that industry. There should also be jobs on there. So they don't need to look around your website to find what they're looking for. They can find it right on that really relevant page. So very important to build out the ideal site architecture. Who are you? Where are you located? Contact details, easy to find. Testimonials, so important. Getting reviews, we do touch upon this further, but getting reviews onto your website builds really that great brand trust. And so make sure you're asking for those. Job pages. So each of your jobs is a big opportunity to maximize your search engine optimization, or it should be. So we'll show you the things that you need to look out for, because a lot of times with staffing firms, we will find that their jobs aren't SEO optimized. They're driven from their applicant tracking system. So the easiest way, and you will see in a sec, your URL should sit on your company name, and the job ad should have the keywords in it of the job itself, so that it's saying to the search engines, this recruitment staffing firm is perfect for the search that just went on. Let's send them to this company. So no iframes. An iframe is a box within your website where pretty much it's a window into another company's platform. Not ideal for what you do. You need to get iframes off your site and have the jobs, the job board and everything natively appearing within your website environment. No link outs. So you don't want someone clicking on the job board or clicking on the job description. And also the apply page. When someone clicks on that, you don't want them leaving your brand to go to another company's apply process or job board. And URLs, often where you type your www into the search bar, the job ad should have a really clean URL, as mentioned, that talks about the job opportunity. It shouldn't have, weird numbers and codes in it, because that means nothing to a search engine and you're missing an opportunity. Some of the other things talking about here, job schema markup is something used by the commercial job boards. For us, we build this into our tech naturally. Would be, happy to do an audit for you and tell you how things are going for you and the opportunities. Jobs need to go to your sitemap XML, so that helps. You want to be Google for Jobs compliant. You also want your jobs to be going to the free job board on LinkedIn. You want Google to be able to index those jobs because it will help with your SEO. Similar jobs, so if somebody does go through to a job, ideally show them other jobs that match that search that just took place. And social sharing and all the things that you would like to see that are going to help push your brand and not cost you anything out into the World Wide Web. And ideally, if you're not doing it already, on the job ad itself, it's great to show who people should reach out to if it's relevant to learn more about that opportunity. And the last one, H1s and H2s are really just the headings in your job ad. They should also be working to enhance your SEO within your recruitment website. So the job page. So this is a giant job page. Interestingly enough, this client was spending a lot on search engine optimization in the past, and now they've been able to reduce that because what they're getting is very high level SEO by following the recipe. So the URL here you can see is their brand. You can see that it's pulling through the title of the job ad. And really, this is so important to enhance your SEO. When we're also looking up here and at the meta title, this is the meta title. So the tab should also be pulling through what the job means to search engines. So check out your own brand, see if these things make sense on your job ads and that they're clear and crisp, because if they're clear and crisp here, they're clear and crisp to search engines. H1 tags, so what is the actual job ad called? This will help you greatly with your SEO. And all your social sharing and streaming through of similar jobs, as we mentioned, is extremely important. Landing and campaign pages. Now, this is one that we've spoken about for some time. Very, very important now due to this extremely candidate short market that we're in currently. Being able to build a landing page or a campaign page very quickly so that you could talk about a particular role that you have going. We are finding that rather than always asking people to apply for a job, if you can create a great page that talks about a good opportunity that you've got, and with NPA, a lot of the staffing and recruitment agencies, there's a lot that are exec search as well. So any high level roles, being able to create a landing or campaign page to talk about the opportunity. Ideally, if you can co-brand it with your client, that's even better. We know we get better traction when people are co-branding. Good sales opportunity to talk to your clients about, we believe that recruitment is marketing, and to do that successfully, we want to create a page for this opportunity. And then you can share that page through your LinkedIn networks. You can lock pages down. It has worked really well. Also, where you're sharing a page saying, hi, Dave, we've looked at your profile. You'd be perfect for this opportunity. You're 1 in 10 people we're reaching out to. And you say to Dave, if you'd like to know more, tell them a little bit about what the company's like, and please let us know and we'll send you the passcode for this landing page. It has been attracting a lot of people to be a bit interested, and then if there might be some interest there. And through to the landing page, you should, if you wanted to, be able to put job search through to your main job board and everything else also. So stand out from the crowd, create as many of these as you want. They could be for jobs in New York, a landing page specifically for that. It could be jobs for a particular industry sector, and you could share that on your networks or do pay-per-click advertising as well to drive traffic through to highly converting landing pages. So a great tool. Can see that there is a couple of questions. Yes, never build on rented land. Very true. There you go, Veronica. I agree. On-page and off-page SEO, what are the differences? I won't go through all of these. We will be sharing this after this presentation. So SEO, how often are the keywords appearing, and what you need to be thinking about with the words that you're using within your recruitment website. Things have changed a little bit. Start making it conversational. Who is the best engineering recruiter in Chicago? Who is the best engineering recruiter in Sydney, Australia? Things you can question and ask yourself. Voice search is taking off massively and people are using it all the time. So you want to make sure that you're optimizing the opportunity to convert that traffic and drive them through to your brand. So natural language within your website, when you write your content, make sure you're getting your keywords across. If you're an engineering recruiter, make sure that those keywords are coming across so that search engines know you're there and voice search knows you're there so that they can direct traffic. All the technical stuff you need to be thinking about that we touched upon, the structure of the URL, making sure that all your pages interlink is one of the ones that a lot of people don't do. So if you're writing a blog or blogs, you would be a great opportunity to link specific pages in your website through to your blogs so that you're creating this natural ecosystem for people to travel around your website and find really relevant content that drives them around. So link those pages up. When we talk, that's on page, so that is your website SEO. And then we have your off-page SEO. So that is the things that happen out in the World Wide Web that give links back to your brand. And if you're wanting to enhance your SEO, you need to start getting as many links as you can out in the World Wide Web. So on directories, make sure that you're appearing on lots of different directories that are local directories, recruitment directories, and linking back to your brand. This really helps what's called your domain authority. You may have seen DA mentioned on certain things to do with SEO. Very important. Domain authority means that your brand is one that's recognized and it's one that's trusted in the eyes of the search engines. The other is around security. I still see so many recruitment websites, and when you look in that top URL structure, you should see a little lock, and that means that your website is secure. If it says not secure, your SEO is going to be dramatically impacted because no search engine wants to send people to your website if it's not secure. That's easily fixed with an SSL certificate, but extremely important. Make sure your brand is consistent. If you've moved addresses or you've changed your company name, you should make sure that all of your listings across the World Wide Web are updated. There are tools now that do go out, look for your brand and tell you if there are errors and inconsistencies. So that's extremely important because if it's wrong, they don't know you're the same company. And then, as we mentioned earlier, reviews are so important. Start getting reviews. Search engines love it. Your candidates and clients will love it. And it should be part of your day-to-day strategy. Some tips with your job posting. How many people use that / in job titles? So you know they can't be picked up by search engines. So you really need to think about what you're calling your job ads and make sure that you're getting the keywords across in the keywords within the job ad itself, but also the job titles. So do away with the / At the start of your job ad, our recommendation is definitely people now scan things extremely quickly. If you can bullet point and get to the point really quickly, that's going to be beneficial for getting traction with people that are looking at your job ads. Small paragraphs, not just big bulk blobs of text, are going to convert a lot better as well. And your abbreviations, a lot of people use abbreviations. Unfortunately, not everyone's going to type in the abbreviation. There are some good ones where you're going to know if somebody types in that abbreviation, they definitely are a person with that skill set. Then obviously you would use it, but system analyst is going to convert a lot better than SA, which is quite ambiguous. We mentioned before, show similar jobs. If you get someone through to a job ad, you may as well show them the other jobs that you have on your page too, with the hope that one of them is suitable for them and that they can easily apply. And as we mentioned, show the recruiters on the job ad as well for that personal thing. I think it's interesting in recruitment, we often forget that recruitment is about people, and the more people you can get onto your website and onto your brand that work within your organization, even if you're only one person, you should be getting your personal brand on there as well, because people like it. Trends for 2022, we're going to see a lot of AI. We're seeing people using AI, voice search, similar searches, things going on that will impact your SEO. You need to be thinking about this into the future. We mentioned voice search. Make sure that you get yourself onto the maps. So Apple Maps, Yahoo Maps, Bing Maps. If people are looking for a recruiter in your area and they ask for someone in your location, you're not going to come up unless you're listed on different maps. So that's a really good one. Accessibility, apart from the legalities of this, it's really important that you have easy accessibility and have tools on there, not only to help people get through via voice search and things that no longer are going to use a keyboard. It's also important that your website is accessible to people with disability. So we are definitely seeing an uptick in people trying to protect themselves there. So I would make sure that, you know, you've got parameters in place for accessibility to help people who may not be able to read a traditional layout of a website. More SEO strategy. If you're not doing videos yet, it really is a great way to get traction. YouTube is now one of the largest search engines. Start creating video content. If your clients are up for creating video content, try to get them involved. Now with the cameras, the phones that we're using today, the videos are extremely good. I would recommend trying to, you know, start getting videos, not only in your job ads, but also in your websites, and definitely in those landing pages, and start a video channel on YouTube. It will definitely help you be found. Semantic search. So very important. Google no longer is just looking only for the words. It's looking at the query that's just taken place and seeing if, you know, what is that user actually looking for? Are they looking for a job? And that's where it's now getting smarter, and it all backs up the things we spoke about previously. If you have these things within your brand online, you're going to start showing up more for relevant searches online. So content with your brand, you can actually get, if you can't write your own content, and I get lots of recruiters, your day-to-day job is recruiting, as it should be, you can now get great content written that is SEO optimized, that does show your expertise, and it creates a great trustworthiness with your brand as well. So do work on your content. You need a minimum of 600 characters on a page, sorry, 600 words, I should say, 600 words on each page as a minimal amount of words for SEO. So you might need to jump in there and buffer out your content a little bit. Use tools to measure. So this was where we mentioned earlier, you can't know what's going on online if you can't actually measure where the leads are coming from, who's applying for your jobs, and where are they coming from. So then you can funnel more money into the things that are actually converting for your brand. So really important. Some tools here. There are marketing dashboards now where you can manage your entire brand in one place and see what's going on. We'll touch on that. SEO audits. So much opportunity to audit your brand online, look at your competitors and look at what they're doing, and, you know, ideally mimic and do better what they're doing so that you can capture some of that. There are some companies out there spending a lot of money on search, and if you can piggyback and look at what they're doing and set a benchmark so you can try to aim to catch them, that's a really good one. Google Search Console, there's lots of Google tools that you can use to monitor your brand and see how it's performing. Google Analytics is obviously one of them. If you don't have Google Analytics set up, you need to do that. So the dashboard, if anyone would like to see this dashboard's great. It is a tool set that brings everything into one place. So literally you can click a button, run an executive report on your brand, see how many people are visiting your brand via Google, see how many searches are going on, what are the searches that are going on, how many reviews have you got this week, and a heap of other information that will help you manage your brand and know what's going on. And social posting too, so important. If you're doing blog content, you should be. If you're not, you should try to do blog content. One of the tips I will give you for writing blogs, because a lot of people they find it very time consuming and not their forte. One, get other people to do it for you if you don't want to do it. The other is within Google Docs, you can actually use voice search. So you can click a button and it will record your voice, and it's very efficient and really on par with what you're saying. It'll write out what you're speaking, and you can do this with the content to write content for your website as well. You know your brand well, you know the story that you're telling. So press voice search, record it, and it will print it out or come out as a beautifully written document. So you don't need to sit there typing anymore. So some good tips. SEO audit. So what are your competitors doing? Where do they appear as far as search is concerned? Are they bidding on keywords on Google and the search engines? What keywords are they bidding on? If you know they're bidding on keywords, you can always create pages within your website to be focused on those keywords so you can pick up a lot of traffic. Something I've been working very hard on with Shazamme. We were a new brand, and now we're coming up in a lot of searches that go on that are highly relevant to us, and it is paying a lot of dividends. We get leads all the time from our website, and that's where it would be great to see you guys coming up as well. The audit tool's very good because it will go through and it will look at any errors on your website, things that the search engines don't like images being too large, duplicate, heading titles, things that you can easily go in and fix so that you tick the box for the search engines and they're more willing to send traffic your way. So SEO audits and SEO tools can be very helpful in understanding how your brand's tracking and opening up opportunities. Google Analytics, if you don't have it set up yet, please do go and get Google Analytics set up. This is a really important one for tracking where is your traffic coming from, who's sending traffic to your brand, all things like different goal conversions. So if you were to create a landing page, you can set up conversions to see how many people came to that landing page, where did they come from. Important things like bounce rates. Are people coming to your website and then leaving very quickly? And analyzing why they're doing that. Maybe we should put some better content on there. Maybe we should put jobs on there to increase that time on the site. And campaign and landing pages, as we mentioned before, tracking those, there's so much opportunity with landing pages and campaign pages. Search console, this also needs to be set up on Google. It is free, it doesn't cost you anything. It is going to help you really understand the indexing status of your website and all the inquiries and things that are going on with your brand that can help you make smart decisions. So I would recommend setting up Search Console as well. We do have ebooks on our website. Part of our philosophy has always been helping recruiters to be more successful at this. It isn't easy. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background from a technology standpoint to create a really good recruitment website. We want to make it as easy as possible for you to be more successful online. There is a recipe. It doesn't need to be difficult. We have highlighted in these 3 ebooks some of the things you need to be thinking about. The site architecture of the website, we've touched upon. This delves a bit deeper in that. Search engine optimization tips and tricks. And then you've got your search, your paid search. So paid search is one that if you're not doing it yet, there is great opportunity. Now we can really silo your audience and who you're wanting to get your brand in front of with paid search so that you come up when people are completing searches so that they're coming through to your brand. We are seeing with landing pages that are built specifically for, we'll just use that example, it might be a civil engineering job in Chicago. You could actually do a pay-per-click advertising campaign for those particular keywords. Because it is so succinct, it's not going to be so expensive per click. And if that click on Google or Facebook or LinkedIn then drives back to a landing page that is for that civil engineering job, you're going to find that your conversion rates go up massively and you get some really great traffic and candidates from that. So yeah, do go to the website and download those ebooks. They will help you. We would love to talk to you about all things recruitment marketing, bounce ideas. We are here to help and educate if you want any insights or feedback. I'm always available. Please find me, Nicole Clarke, on LinkedIn. Happy to answer any questions. Contact details below. And we do have an offer for the NPA. We have in the past sent this out, but we would love to, as mentioned, help you. We've got a great discount there for any members that might need help. We have recruitment website technology that we build your brand onto. Very, very cost effective, even without the discount, and fully integrated. And yeah, we would love to take you through it. And on the final note, just some questions here. If you are using an SEO agency, and I would say if you've looked at your brand and it doesn't tick things that we just mentioned around the job ads being optimized for SEO, the site architecture not being perfect, I would be pausing any SEO campaigns until you got that right. I hate seeing people waste money on search engine optimization if the foundation isn't set up properly to support that SEO, because you should naturally get great SEO if your brand is structured correctly in the World Wide Web. So do reach out with any questions around that. And that brings us to the end of our presentation.
Nicely done, Nicole. That's a lot of information, a great overview, and also some really quality detail there. So I didn't see any questions in the Q&A box, but I have one that maybe you could address. I'm always surprised how many sites I go to that have not done the SSL security step, and it's like I can't wait to get off those sites when for whatever reason I have to visit them. What's involved in getting an SSL license, cost and time to do something like that?
Yeah, so it's sort of part of SSL certificate, whoever you've purchased your domain through, so your company's name, www.com, they will be able to get you an SSL certificate. Prices vary. It shouldn't cost you very much. In most cases now, it should be complimentary as part of your website. Time, it's very quick to do, but so important, because without it, not only you're in recruitment and staffing, so people don't want to put content onto a site that's not secure, which makes sense. And also the search engines, as I mentioned, they don't want to send people to your site either because it's not secure and there's a security risk. So definitely look at that.
And especially if anyone who's accepting payment on their site, if you don't have that, people are nervous even on a secured site about sending their credit card to you. They won't do it if you're not secured.
And job applications, like I don't want to put my details across on something that's not secure. Yeah.
So then the other question, there's been, obviously you touched on it, and there's also conversation going on in the chat, but I mean, I see so many cut and pastes to job board, to create a job board ad that comes from an employer's job description. And job descriptions are notoriously horrible when, to be moved over as a job advert. They're not the same thing. They're not for the same purposes. One's kind of a legal document and the other is supposed to draw attention to it. I mean, so I know formerly Jarvis, now Jasper, but I mean, are there tools that you favor in terms of taking a really bad job description and turning it into a good job advert?
Yeah, look, the main points that I mentioned earlier, clean, crisp, concise job ads that bullet point the main points at the beginning. It's just like when people land on your website, you've got 3 to 7 seconds really to grab their attention and direct them through to wherever it is you're wanting them to do. Job ads are no different. They need to be succinct, to the point, put the best opportunity forward, and not, it's amazing, job ads, often see these huge big blobs of text and no one's going to read that. So there are companies out there now that do offer job writing tools, but I think with a bit of common sense, you should be able to know what are the highlights of this job and make it clear and concise to the reader.
Very well. Veronica, any questions or things you'd want to touch on?
I just was answering a quick question there. I did have a question and it has escaped me. Oh, I know. For blogs. So this is a near and dear to my heart subject all the time. And I see occasionally, and I think it's crazy, I'm seeing fewer blogs that allow people to subscribe by email. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think, we do it and we get subscribers and then we send them our stuff, and it seems silly that you wouldn't do that, but.
Yeah, look, I think it's just like job alerts. If you don't have job alerts on your recruitment website, you're missing a massive opportunity, because once someone set up a job alert, over the years, they'll rarely ever delete it. And if a job alert comes through and they know someone who's looking for a job, they'll forward that to them, or when the time's right, they'll remember your brand. So same thing. I think people should be able to subscribe for any new blog content that goes up. Interesting with blogs, often people write one once and that's only used once. There is great tools now where you can put your blog on a drip schedule. Considering it's probably only about 5% of your audience is going to see your blog the first time around, by resharing that every 6 weeks and putting on an automated drip schedule is a great opportunity. And another reason, write blog content that's evergreen, meaning it can go on forever. It doesn't have a date attached to it, is really important. But blogs also, remember, don't write a blog because you think write blogs that you think are a great idea. However, you should do some blog really at the end of the day from a recruitment perspective, even an MPA perspective. The benefit of it is just really you want to drive people through to your brand. So what are the keywords that people are looking for that are relevant to people you want to convert, and then write blogs for that, rather than, oh, I saw something really cool today, I'm going to write a blog on it. It might be fun, and that's fine with some of those, but really look at, it should be a vehicle to get the right traffic to your brand. So keywords, stuff it with the relevant things that people are looking for.
We've learned that personally, I've learned that the hard way, and that is you really need to be able to connect your blog back to the things that would draw people to you and your company. So I tend to write the blog, and then I go back and I figure out how do I put keywords in that are the right keywords that draw people back, as opposed to if you start with keywords, oh my gosh, I can't write that way. So you have to write it, and then you have to have your keyword list handy and go back and massage it into the document that you created, or you will never write a blog in your life. It's just too difficult.
And did you use the voice search, Dave? Have you tried I love it.
No, I haven't.
Voice typing.
Yeah, I have used that. And apparently I have an accent, so it doesn't work real well.
I love it. I'm sure you could train it, Dave.
That's funny.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't see any other questions coming in right now. This was a great session, Nicole. I really appreciate you being available for us and giving such an awesome presentation with really, stuff people need to know, and they need to be incorporating that into their websites now. It's really hard to justify not doing it anymore.
Yeah, so many missed opportunities, and Yeah, if I hear another person say all their strategy is using LinkedIn, I will scream, you know, you need to own your brand and make it amazing and use it as that solid foundation to do everything from. Yeah.
Put your content on LinkedIn. Don't help monetize them. They don't need our help.
Correct. You should be driving traffic that you're putting on LinkedIn back to your brand. Everything
Absolutely.
should lead back. Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
don't forget to cut a check to Seek every month because they need your money.
That's right. That's right. And actually, you know, like campaign and landing pages, the people that are using those now, creating little job boards for particular industry sectors and then sharing them online, they're converting very, very well because you can really narrow down to your demographic and your followers and industries. Whereas, you know, yeah, Seek is, post and pray.
Yes. Well, thank you, Nicole. Thanks, Shazamme, for being a great partner. Thank you all for attending our session. Veronica, I'll let you wrap it up if there's anything else.
All right. Well, we'll be back next month on the first Thursday again, and that will be with the Recruiters Coach, I think, is our presenter next time. And then we will take April off because we'll be in Fort Worth, and we'll see you there.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.